What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we're back with our Nebraska Dynasty, where we are trying to return the Cornhuskers to glory and get this program back to where it's competing for national championships. A couple of games coming up in this episode. We'll play an FCS opponent, and then we'll play Georgia Southern, trying to start off 3-0 before we face off against Oklahoma. Let's go to the recruiting, though. I want to update you on just kind of what the recruiting board is looking like and who we're trying to target. Would like to keep some of the recruiting updates going in this series as well. I know some just want to see the gameplay, some want to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but we're going to just give you the big stuff in the recruiting, and I'll show you anytime we get a commit or something like that. So let's go to the recruiting board. I've got about 15 players that I'm really trying to target. You see we've got this tackle here, and we're spending all our points on these top players. Derek Walker, an outside linebacker, and we're 5th on his list. Tony Simmons, middle linebacker, a 3rd on his list. Joey Evans, a tight end, number 2 on his list. A center here that we're looking pretty good on. A wide receiver as well, 78 overall. I've already scouted all these players. Cedric Long, a defensive tackle. Ron Harrison, a cornerback. Darren Shelton, 79 overall defensive tackle. Cedric Houston, Jeremy Patterson. Joseph Mills, a quarterback. Always want to try to get a quarterback. And a couple other players, 3 players here that are not as high on our list, but we're going to give them some points and just kind of see where it goes. So 15 players that we're spending points on at this point. All right, let's go to our first game now. We're playing an FCS team. Hopefully this is not too big of a challenge, but if you watch me play this game, you know you never know what you're going to get. There's not always going to be an easy game when you think there's going to be an easy game. We did beat Northwestern. That was a close one. Had to come from behind. If you missed episode 1, you can go back and check it out. It was a really good game that came down to the wire. So we moved the ball right down the field on the first drive. Anthony Grant going to punch it in for the touchdown. We're up 7-zip. Easy start, like you'd expect against an FCS opponent. Next drive, Casey Thompson, a little option play. And did not see the defender take out our running back. I thought he was back there, and it turns into disaster. They're going to take it all the way back for the touchdown, and just like that, FCS Midwest has tied it up. So not a good play there, obviously. And we're tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter. Next quarter, though, we go right down the field, get a touchdown. Again, it's Anthony Grant on the ground. So it's 14-7. Defense gets a stop, and we've got a chance to maybe get a little bit of separation here. Anthony Grant right up the middle. Nice run. He had a big day on the ground. Casey Thompson now going to throw it. Nice pass there. Palmer makes the catch. Now going inside the 5-yard line. Perfect throw. Casey Thompson on his game in this one. Besides that fumble, which, of course, that was just my fault. Just a terrible decision. And then our defense not playing great, but we have a chance to get a stop here. 3rd down and goal. FCS on the 1-yard line. And we are right there for the stop. So it'll be 4th down and goal. They decide to go for it. Big play in this game. Go to the ground, and we cannot get there in time, so they get a touchdown. It's 21-14, and about under a minute now to play in the first half. Thompson completes that to Washington inside the 30-yard line. On 2nd and 4, going to Grant, and he's got a wide open lane. Touchdown. We're going to be up 28-14. Now FCS with it. And look at them just making plays. You never know what you're going to get from these FCS teams. We take two terrible attempts at a tackle. Wow, that was terrible defense. And they go down and they score, and it's 28-21. And this game's looking like it's going to be close. Now Thompson on the ground, weaving his way around the defenders. Picks up the first down, looking to throw, completes it. There's Brody Belt around the 15-yard line. Back to Anthony Grant, breaking tackles, but he's going to get stopped. And we're going to have to go field goal. I was going to try to get enough there to go for it on 4th down, but we didn't get anything. And now it's 31-21. Defense, though, coming up with a big sack. On 3rd down, we get a stop, and we have a chance to finally maybe open this game up a little bit. There's Trey Palmer over the middle, makes the catch. Manning now with the catch. This was a game where Casey Thompson, our passing game was on. It was much better than the first game. He's going to dive into the end zone for the touchdown here, and it's now 38-21. Next drive, Casey Thompson, a little option play. Ramir Johnson runs right through the defender. Touchdown, Nebraska, as we pull away. 52-21, so it was close there for a while, But we get into the second half and take care of business. You take a look at the stats from this game. I mean, we had over 550 yards of offense. Really good game. Like I said, Casey Thompson, no interceptions, 229 yards. A much better performance from game one. Anthony Grant, once again, very strong day on the ground, 135 yards rushing. And then we really went to Trey Palmer a lot in this game, and Washington, and Manning. So this was just a much better passing performance than week one. We had a terrible game through the air in the first one. And here are the defensive stats. I think we only had that one sack with Tommy Hill coming on the blitz in this game. Yeah, that was the only sack. So next we're going to play Georgia Southern. Probably a tougher game than the FCS opponent. We'll see what happens. First quarter, first drive of the game, Georgia Southern on the move. They complete it, and that's a big game. 3rd and 6 here, a chance to get a stop. And we would get our stop because there comes Wynn with a sack, and we hold them to a field goal. So it's 3-0. They got a good drive there, but we hold them to a field goal. That's a win. Now Anthony Grant running over defenders, picks up the first down, 10 yards on that play. Casey Thompson rolling to the right. What's he going to do? He's going to fire it complete to Palmer. Really, Trey Palmer has become the go-to guy. And now Anthony Grant will run it in for the touchdown. It's 7-3 Nebraska on top. We get another stop. So things are looking good here. And then on a little comeback route, defender jumps it. It's going to be a pick 6, and Georgia Southern has the lead, 10-7. Thompson throws it complete to Washington. First down. Going to the ground now. Thompson, look at him go. He is gone. Touchdown, Nebraska. Casey Thompson using his legs for a big run, and we're up 14-10. Georgia Southern not going away, going deep here. We try to get, that was just kind of a back shoulder play. It was really underthrown, and we did not make the adjustment. So Georgia Southern in business here. 3rd down and goal to the end zone. How did he find him? I mean, there were like 5 defenders there. Perfect pass, and Georgia Southern back on top, 17-14. Looks like we might be in a fight here. Anthony Grant, look at that cutback touchdown. Nebraska on top, 21-17. Now Georgia Southern on 3rd down. They try a draw play, not going to work. And we're going to try to get points before halftime. This is a risky play call. 4th down, near midfield. If we don't get it, they might get points, but we do get it. Casey Thompson using his legs. He had a big day rushing in this one, not so much passing, but he did complete this one. Brody Belt down to the 15-yard line, 21 yards on that play. Back to the ground, Anthony Grant, touchdown. 28-17 at halftime, so we've kind of made up for that slow start. Playing better now. Ramir Johnson just shoving defenders aside down the sideline. He had a pretty big game as well. 28 yards on that run. Casey Thompson here right up the middle. Touchdown, Nebraska. 31 yards on that play. And it was the rushing attack that really came through in this one. Marcus Washington, though, making the catch there. And we take care of business. 56-31, the final score. As you take a look at the stats from this game, the rushing attack was just really good for us. Over 300 yards rushing. Casey Thompson, not great in the past game, had a couple of interceptions. There was another one I didn't show. I actually had 3 interceptions. One of those I did simulate a little bit of this game. I think one of those was on the sim. Anthony Grant, again, big day. Casey Thompson over 100 yards. Ramir Johnson had the big run. Trey Palmer, once again, our go-to receiver. And we get the win here. We're going to start off 3-0. 3-0. But up next, it's Oklahoma. Obviously, this is going to be a very tough test. Oklahoma on this game is going to be much better than what they've been in real life. And even in real life, in that game, Oklahoma, of course, won by a lot. But that was kind of a weird game. So we're going to see if we can beat a really good team in Oklahoma up next. Stay tuned.